Here we go!
Hey Blue Blurs, what is up? This is your self-proclaimed chief of the Blue Blurs, so I might as well not say self-proclaimed because it's a fact at this point. Gamer Blake 90, here to bring you the continuation of my Sonic 4 Episode 1 playthrough series, as we go through the Casino Street zone, which is in turn the second zone in the game, at least by default. In reality, you can play through these zones in any order that you want, whether you're starting with a new save file or not, but we're going with default order here, and so we're going through Casino Street zone, which is not exactly an extraordinary level to me. Like, it's okay, I guess, but the odd thing is, casinos are an attraction associated with city nightlife, and previously I described night-themed city stages as among my absolute favorite level, which is part of why I adore Stardust Speedway so much, as well as Speed Highway, of course. And yet, you'd think that casinos being a common sighting among cities at night would be something I would adore, and yet I didn't care for them. I don't know why. It's the same with real life. I just never really cared to devote all that much attention towards the casino, so it's probably because nowadays money isn't a common sighting for me, and casinos are primarily for gambling, so my enjoyment of them is rather limited at the moment. I'm sure that'll change later on in life, but at the moment, that's my current standing. But yeah, Casino Street Zone. Something I have to say about the second act is that it's a practical haven for building up your extra life count. Like, the lives just come in non-stop in Act 2. You can literally farm for them like it's crazy. And that's one of the reasons why I consider it so difficult to get a game over in something like Sonic 4 Episode 1. Because if you know how to play that level optimally, you should be getting so many extra lives that whatever fails you end up making later on in the game should be covered rather easily. And of course, the first act is, well, there's not a whole lot to it, honestly. Pretty short and to the point. I probably could have sped run in under a minute if I felt like it, but this is a playthrough and not a speed run. And we were just talking about the second act, also subtitled, The Road of Cards. So why do I say that you can farm extra lives here? Well, you'll see in a second, soon we can get to them. I do kind of like that they brought back the, what's the appropriate term for these things? These, well, bounce pad isn't exactly it. I guess we'll just call them... You know what, we'll just, I don't even know what to call them. You make up your own mind about that. But anyway, here's the primary attraction to the Road of Cards. As you progress through the stage, you'll find these cards that will automatically turn around as you run right past them, and depending on what's on their faces, you'll end up adding to your inventory, whether it be by way of rings or extra lives, like the one we got just now. I think you don't lose anything if you turn over an Eggman card, and for every 3 ring panels or 3 life panels you match, it'll get added to your account. And there are a ton of these cards scattered throughout the stage, like it is freaking crazy. This is one part of a casino where you're absolutely free to take all the risks in the world, and it's gonna pay off for you no matter what way you slice it. Like, that's one huge reason why my life count recently broke 100. Although, approximately 10 years ago when I was first playing this game, I once maxed out my life count at 999. Yes, I played this game an awful lot. I don't proclaim this to be one of the better Sonic games, of course, but for what it's worth, it definitely had its moments for me that I was able to pass the time with. Sure, it could have been executed better, but all around, it wasn't without its good points. And I feel Episode 2 built upon them a little better. Though in some weak points that it practically ignored, between that and Episode 1 leaving a bad taste in people's mouth, that might have been what killed all potential for a third episode for the Sonic 4 series, which was allegedly in the works by Sega, and then the project got cancelled because of poor reception that both episodes received, which sucks, but what can you do? Anyway, we're literally building up a full house here, baby, and bear in mind, I don't actually play poker, so I don't even know if I'm using the poker terms correctly for a playthrough like this, but the more you learn, right? And apart from being a haven of extra lives, Act 2 has some more flavor to it than Act 1, in terms of stage length, of course, and the variety of obstacles to be overcome. Although, with enough playthroughs, the stage is kinda like easy to remember like the back of your hand. Alright, well crap, I'm missing a lot of jumps I could have made along this pathway so I could have built up my life count a little further. That's unacceptable. And I remember the first playthrough I recorded before I accidentally deleted it. Again, sorry to those watching it. I could literally play this game with my eyes closed. Alright, now, also be very careful. There are these rotating cards that can serve as platforms, but while they are tilted like that, you'll fall right through them. And in some occasions, there are bottomless pits located beneath these cards, so be very careful that you don't wind up one card short of a full deck. Well, great. The card puns are coming out. I'm surprised I haven't moved on to puns with, associated with the multicolored dice yet that we're running right past. And you're wondering, no special effect is triggered by running past the dice, they're just there for decorative value. Anyway, recently I've been having to retake my commentary for my videos an awful lot, and I honestly find that very, very frustrating. Like, you would think something as simple as talking while playing a video game wouldn't be all that difficult, and yet when you're like me and you're trying to be as informative as you possibly can, like, I don't want to just share my enjoyment of Sonic games with everybody watching my stuff. Like, I hope they're enjoying my enjoyment of the games that I'm playing, but I also want to encourage them to try these games for themselves, and I also want to arm them with the knowledge necessary to help them enjoy the experience, if you all understand where I'm coming from, which is why I try my best to explain certain parts of a stage to you guys, and how best to control your character. And you know, in the first video where I went over Splash Hill Zone, I don't even think I went into that much detail about Sonic's controls. I talked a bit about them, but wound up cutting myself off when we got to the third act, which associated what I'd like to call Sunset Hill or Splash Hill Act 3. But yeah, while this game was marketed under the premise that it was going to be a continuation of the classic Sonic legacy, the Sonic physics definitely don't match up to that promise, but nevertheless, there's a bit of free flow with Sonic's controls here once you get them down. In particular, the air dash really aids with your movement when you know how to use it correctly. It's kinda like the speed thock in Sonic Robo Blast 2 now that it's coming to mind. When you use it correctly, your movement increases dramatically. Like, the freedom of your movement increases dramatically. And while the air dash wouldn't be considered as, I would like to say, top tier at the speed thock in Robo Blast 2, in part because it's a 2D game rather than a 3D game, nevertheless, once you get the hang of your use of the air dash, it can really open up a lot of possibilities for you, and even aid with speed runs, when you know how to use it properly. Otherwise, if you abuse it in the wrong timing, you might end up hurting your own speed output, and that wouldn't be good for you. And no, I haven't actually tried speedrunning this game yet, at least not since the day when I constantly grinded this game in early 2011. I may at some point, but no promises on that yet. Anyway, although we're at 3 of, what in the world? I probably should have been spin dashing while I was heading up that speed boost. Okay, there we go. Alright. And there are also those cannons that you can launch yourself inside, and the interesting thing about these cannons is that you don't always have to go in the direction that the arrows point towards while you're shooting yourself out of the cannons. Like, you may have noticed it a bit ago, where I went in a direction that completely contradicts that of where the arrow's pointing me towards, and I still got the job done. And we're probably going to come across more examples of this right about now, only there aren't any arrows pointing us anywhere, but rather, if you go where the rings are at, they are basically a substitute for the arrows. And I'm not doing so well here right now, it looks like. Oh, man. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I hope that my commentary of my playthroughs is really helping you guys to the point where you're thinking of maybe trying these games out for yourself, because you'll at least know what to expect going into these games. And if that's not the result I'm producing, I urge you to let me know, so I can polish up my commentary better, because I take the quality of it extremely seriously when it comes to my content. And if it's underwhelming, then well, I'm not gonna be too happy about that. Also, why am I messing this up so bad? Like, where do I even go? Oh my god. Let's, oh my god. Sonic, are you kidding me? Well, I talked so much about how the air dash was so useful in this game, and right now it's failing me. Okay, what is happening? What is happening? Why can I not get to that cannon up there? Am I not even supposed to go this way? What in the world? If I aim it directly towards the right, it's not gonna help my... There we go! So I had to aim it slightly above the right, and that's where it all paid off for me. Now, one good critic I will give to Sonic 4 Episode 1 is that I actually really like how the the bounce balls actually control here. Like, they feel a lot more reliable as stepping stone in a stage like this than they do in most Sonic games that I've played. I feel like I'm basically gambling my life upon these bounce balls whenever I try to use them to, say, move across areas like this, except I kind of messed this up, so I didn't do such a good job showcasing it. Oh my god. But yeah, I feel these are a lot more useful, like they're a lot more consistent in how you bounce off of them when you're trying to navigate sections like this, as they're basically stepping stones. What if we shot ourselves over here? Oh, it's a bounce pad. Or a spring, excuse me. And nothing was to be gained from launching ourselves off of that, so we're just gonna get straight back to what we were doing and hopefully rocket ourselves to victory. Ooh, another extra life. That we haven't already gotten a whole lot of those while playing this stage. Alright, if I remember this correctly, this should be the very ending of Act 3, as long as I don't mess it up. Yeah, there we go. If you actually end up messing up here and you bounce off these bounce balls straight to the left rather than to the right, you will fall to your death, so be absolutely careful while you're clearing the third act, but you don't end up wasting any lives doing so, and damaging your score in the process. Of course, there is no ranking system to be worrying about here, but if you are the kind of guy that cares about their scoring, then take caution. So we are done with the third act, getting enough extra life added to our account. Like I said, this game is a literal haven of extra lives. They're so easy to come by, but it's ridiculous. And we have the Casino Street Zone boss, which is also a mock-up of the Casino Night Zone, the Casino Night Zone's boss from Sonic 2. Which is where I have to mention a bit of a similarity between Sonic 4 and Sonic 1 and 2. By now, I'm sure most of you have realized that Sonic 4 Episode 2 falls closely in the footsteps of Sonic 2, like, it blatantly mimics some elements from it. For example, the Sky Fortress Zone, which is a complete duplicate of the Wing Fortress Zone from... You know, I have a feeling I could be beating this boss a lot faster than I actually am. I should be taking advantage of these bounce pads to the left and right so I could bounce all of them repeatedly without the need to return to these flippers so I could gain back the height necessary to attack Eggman. I feel like they've done that a lot better, but obviously that is a sign that the rust is accumulating. But yeah, eventually I'll probably do this playthrough again and show myself defeating this boss much more easily. Probably an entire speedrun that's not exactly split into episodes like my playthroughs tend to be, but yeah. Oh, finally, an 80,000 point time bonus. Haven't got that since Splash Hill. Not that I'm too concerned with a grade A playthrough, I just want to show the game off. And we are now done with our showcase of the... Oh, whoops. Well, you know what? You can just call this a sneak preview of a Lost Labyrinth, though. I'm not gonna play it here just yet, but know it is the next stage we're gonna be going through in the third video for Sonic 4 Episode 1, and be warned, this ain't gonna be a pleasant experience. But yeah, that's it for Casino Street Zone. I will say that I do like the bouncing animation for Sonic while he's standing at the edge of a platform. Kinda cool. Rather faithful to the classic Sonic games, or somewhat faithful. As faithful as it can get, considering we're using the modern Sonic style rather than classic Sonic for a supposedly classic Sonic game. Make of it what you will. But here we have the ending of this video for Casino Street Zone, and that is in turn the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, let me know with your likes and comments down below. And again, like I said earlier, let me know if my commentary is helping you out when it comes to learning how these games play. And if it's not so much fulfilling that goal, well, I'll be rewatching this thoroughly so I figure out where I fell short and where I didn't fall short so I can polish it up better. As that does really matter to me, which is why I tend to do so many retakes for my videos before they go up. Like the last two videos. Sonic, don't give me that look! I'm busy chatting with my audience here. Brah! But I've been watching the last two videos thoroughly after retaking them like, I don't know, 100 times a piece? They frustrate me so much, but at one point I'd take 2 days total to put up a showcase for Sonic Mega Mix Media, which I hope you'll check out if you haven't yet. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go for now. See you all next time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell if you want to keep up my content, including my playthrough with Sonic 4 Episode 1, and I will see you all next time. Until then, Blue Blurs for life. Take care.